Hey guys, good evening. We have a new friend joining in today, Vandana. She is one person who's like really seen the corporate life and quit the corporate life and now into coaching. She is also one of the personalities who knows what are the challenges which corporates have. Both men and women have in the corporate, how things affect in terms of performance, challenges at workplace with the colleagues, and a lot of other challenges which people go through when they're working, and that really impacts not only the way you progress in your career, but also it impacts the way you progress in your life, your mental health, and all that. So we definitely need people who are experienced, in corporate, not only become coaches from the books or from certifications which are available online and all that. You also need the experience so that they can relate, visualize what you're going through, and help you out, and give you the shoulder. So thanks a lot, Vandana, for being here. We definitely need people like you because as
Mhm.
I've been telling this a lot or more frequently in this particular show, we need people who do something for others, and we need such people, and all of them are doing service in some way or the other. So thanks a lot for taking time out. Maybe you can share your journey on how you started. How did you get into this passion for people? Because you're like very oriented towards people, and how was the journey so far?
Great. So the journey for passion for people had started, I think, long back. I think I realized even when I was in school and college that I'm somebody who connect with people very easily, and the reason to take HR was one of them. And 15 years from different organizations, different sectors. I mean, from hospitality to telecom. I've sort of seen HR and how it works. But and in my personal life as well. I mean, I have been through a lot of uh, issues and grief or anxiety and stress, which did many a times impact in my professional life as well. So about a couple of years back, I had a chance to take a break for my maternity, and I think that's where I realized that no, this is something not I want to do. I mean, I want to do something else. Being in corporate, it's sort of it was there was a boundary always to help people, right? You are always confined in a boundary when you are working for an organization. So that's how I went and got myself a certification counseling psychology, and then the journey was on from there. And I did my happiness coaching, positive psychology coaching, CBT, so on and so forth. And then about 4 5 months back, we started this company called HR Shelter. So HR Shelter is we call it shelter because it's a shelter for counseling and coaching and training and everything. So people from being an individual, also from a corporate, can come to us, and we can sort of from your counseling to coaching manage that.
Good. I like the name shelter because a lot of times
Yes.
shelter is for. I mean, in the name itself, you're basically defining that we are here to help. Because shelter is
Yes.
the location where people approach when they need help. Good one. So who
Yes.
who decided? Who chose this particular name? HR shelter.
Yeah, it was me. I did think a lot, and then I think I honestly came up with shelter because I wanted it like an umbrella. I mean, I define it as an umbrella where like I said, see, mental health is not just for somebody who's undergoing a depression. It is also for somebody who wants to find out what's my life purpose and what's my goal and what I want to do further. So it's also bringing somebody from a minus to zero, and taking somebody from a zero to +6 or +7. So the mental health is a huge journey. So that's why we call it shelter, because we want to give a complete package to someone when they come to us.
Yeah, and this is a very rare combination, Vandana. I like this particular thing. I think we had another guest who did the similar thing, but really very rare combination of a HR person who also does coaching, because you're so close to people when you're working as an HR in the organization. You work with people. You are responsible for their appraisals. You ensure that they're reaching their goals. You're the ones who are monitoring immaterial which process, which department they belong to. You know how each of them behave. कौन कर रहा है, कौन काम करता है, कौन काम नहीं करता.
Right.
What are the challenges, what will make people work, उससे काम कैसे कराएं, and what are the things which they miss, what are the motivators for somebody. For some people, money is the only thing. You pay money and they will work. For somebody,
True.
you just need hand holding. So you would see a lot of array of people who are working in the corporate. And when you come across, and for coaching, when you come across some people who are like talking about the issue, you can really visualize what sort of personality they are, what would really work, which formula would really work for them to take it forward. And people think that working for corporates is easy because वो paycheck आ जाता है, but that 30 days of mindset, I think a lot goes
True,
into it. A lot of people don't
true,
come
true.
out that it's a torture, or it's something, as you said, you don't get to decide what you will be working on next
Absolutely.
day. And nowadays it's not like the old government days where ऑफिस आए यही काम करना है अगले 10 साल और अगले 25 साल. Every day is different nowadays in corporates, immaterial which department you belong to. So only after you go into the office you will know whether what task you have to work on. So you cannot really have plans. You cannot really
True,
do
true.
what your mind really wants you to do. That true passion is missing. Good one.
See, what also happens, so what also happens is that today's corporate world is quite dynamic. I mean, what it was about 15 years back when I started to what it is today, extremely dynamic. I mean, people want quick solutions and people want quick, appreciations also. The kind of expectations what the new generation is having, and how the organization is actually functioning also has some amount of gap. So yes, like you rightly mentioned, that it's sort of it's very stressful for somebody who's working in a corporate, because you got to prove every day about what you have been doing. And another interesting thing which Ravi, I would want to share is that, off late what I've noticed is that, there's a lot of fear of missing out. I mean, even though you are sick, even though you want to take off one particular day, but you're like, okay, if I take off and somebody else attends the meeting and
Yeah.
they do something else, and then I will not get that appreciation. So the fact that people are afraid to even take that off for themselves. So I mean, people take pride in saying that, oh, I have fever but I still come to work.
Hmm.
Oh, it's my son's birthday but I've still come to work. So that's sort of something which keeps building upon and on and on a person.
Yeah, and ये इंडिया में ही होता है. So I don't know why
Yeah, I
we've
mean,
got into this
unfortunately,
culture, but yeah, we.
because we are a very new democracy. We are not a developed democracy as yet. So obviously, and the kind of population we have, and so many things matter. So yes, it happens in India, but there are advantages also, because across the world people want to hire people from India, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is one advantage we have. But yeah, in terms of personal life, yeah, that work-life balance and all that, we're still not there. There are few companies which are
Yes,
teaching this, that your personal life is also important. But yeah, there are many companies which still have not inculcated.
yes.
Good.
So
और क्या सीक्रेट्स है वंदना के?
sorry, I didn't get that question.
और क्या सीक्रेट्स है वंदना के?
Secrets. See, that's the very interesting question, because I always tell this to people that when you see somebody, you're only seeing a part of that person. I mean, somebody who's my Facebook friend today, and I must have worked with this person for about 10 years back in one of my organization. So he has just okay. So she is very talkative, or she's very aggressive. So that's just that one perception they have about that person. So but I think when you know somebody at a deeper level, you understand that person a lot. So I think whoever probably knows me just has a glimpse of what I am actually, and I think it goes for everybody. I'm sure what I see you is just a part of you. So you have a huge set of story behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, very huge. But good one. Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people have this notion, and especially one of the reason we started this particular show is people know Vandana as a HR person. मतलब
Yes.
उनको ये नहीं मालूम कि what are the qualities Vandana has, what are the other things which Vandana can do, what's her passion, her passion for people, guiding people, ensuring that they're flourishing in their life and in their career. That attitude, that people don't look at. It just ends with the designation, the title,
True.
or one
See,
perception of the quality of based on your behavior for a couple of days or one incident. They will just वो stamp लगा
label
देते.
you. I mean, I would call it as labeling. I mean, okay, she's
Yeah.
so somebody who would know me from school and college will say, oh, she's very talkative, and somebody who would know me from my just last organization will think that I'm very calm and quiet person. So there's like a complete change in a personality and the perception and the labeling people sort of do for you. So I think we sort of, and today's day and age, I think it's also how you behave in your social media pages. I mean,
True.
labeling also starts over there. I mean, what the kind of post you share in your social media, people think, okay, so she's sharing this, so she's this person, you know. So I think that if we start refraining, because that's also adds pressure on people, isn't it? To define themselves and work on their labeling. So I believe that there's a lot about me which people need to know. So and the journey is huge, and you keep evolving every day.
So, who are the set of clients or customers? If they have to, take your coaching, what categories of issues which you can handle? You expect them to, approach you and then, talk to you about where you can help them.
Okay. So we first, so there are two things. We have counseling and we also have coaching. Okay. So counseling is just where somebody is having an issue and we want to help them. Okay. Now, when I say that, counseling itself has a huge stigma related to it. Okay. So people do not come to you because they think, how can I go and approach a counselor? What if my neighbor comes to know? Or what if, my colleague comes to know that I'm undergoing some sort of a depression or mental health, and I'm actually looking at somebody who can come and help me. So the fact that we have been in an environment where we have decided that, oh, I'm a very strong person, and I don't need help, so that itself is a big according to me, a big stigma which is existing in this industry. I mean, when you look at me, you might think that, okay, I'm a very independent strong woman, but no, I am dependent so much on my parents, on my husband, on my son, and so many things. I mean, the cup of tea I drink is comes from so many places, isn't it? So all of us are interdependent. So that perception, if people have that, yes, like physical health, mental health is also important. Like how I get fever and I go to a doctor, it is okay to even go to a counselor. So that change needs to happen, and that can happen only through awareness. So as a first step, of this startup is just about 3 months old. So as a first step, we are now focusing more and more of awareness sessions. So I do a lot of webinars and free mental well-being webinars, where we talk about that, where somebody can help you out. I mean, the challenge is that a lot of people do not know that, yes, there is someone who can be reached and I can speak to them and this person can help me out. So that's about counseling. So individual person having a personal issue or a work issue where they're not able to focus. See, simple thing like you're not able to focus and concentrate in your job. You have to give this presentation and or work on this particular project or study for this particular course, but you are not able to focus. So that can be one small issue. Maybe you ignore today, it's fine, but that will only keep piling up over a period of time. So these are the smallest issue which you can come to us for help. And when it comes to coaching is now again a very vast subject. So I have done my happiness and a positive psychology coaching. So now positive psychology coach is somebody who helps you to look at things in a positive way. Okay, so when I say positive way, where you can see things beyond your negative bias. So everything around us is negative bias. So I mean, if you look at it, we always talk about, oh, the environment is so bad, the traffic is so bad, but you also think that there are people who are aware of the environment and they're trying to do a lot of things. It wasn't there about 20 years back, isn't it?
True.
So that's what a positive psychology course, and this is like a scientific proven method. We can help somebody to go through these entire process, where and that's the negative bias is biggest things, because it also starts among yourself. So you start saying, oh, I have been always this and I have been always that. So that is a starting point for someone.
Good. And I clearly believe, I mean, believe me, guys, friends, all of them who are viewing this, if you're happy, I mean, nobody wants to have a person who is always crying, talking about family problems, personal issues, looking at negativity everywhere. Nobody wants to have you around, neither as friends nor in the team. Okay, I don't want to have a team member who's always like crying. I would give credits or give more empowerment to a person who's happy. Okay, you might have a lot of challenges at home, but when you come to work, keep those things aside. Work, because if you're spoiling your career and at your work, you're adding more problem to your personal life also, because you'll not be left with any assignments, or you might lose a job. So happiness is one formula which really worked for me. I've got a lot of assignments. I got a lot of team members or colleagues who worked with me, because Ravi is always happy, and he it is fun working with him. Okay, Whether results come, don't come, but the journey of doing any assignment or the project is definitely fun. So people love that. So remember this, and a lot of people need this. If you're not happy person, if you feel that your friends, I mean, do this score. Ask five of your friends, is am I a happy guy when I'm in the office? If the answer is no, if even two three people say that you're not, you're always serious at your work and stuff like that, you definitely need a happiness coach. So you need a person, you need to change the way you work in the office. A lot of people think that earlier days, dad was like very serious when he was going to work. He was always stubborn, stuff like that. That works? No, it doesn't work. So things have changed. So yeah, this is another reason why you need a happiness coach, where they can transform the way you work, and everything at work will change. Your managers, your boss, your MD, everybody has a perception about you, and that has, if that has a happiness involved in it along with your performance, whatever hard work, you will have miraculous results. Your growth in the office will be much much faster. So yeah, that's one reason. So if you're not happy at your work and you don't create that happy atmosphere at work, you need to contact Vandana. So simple as this. Let me put it this way. So yeah, you need to have a happiness coach who will transform the way. And it's no fun living the life. Everybody has got the same tenure of 60, 70, 80 years, whatever we live. Some only 50s. But if you're not having fun in this entire life journey, fayda kya hai? So
See, another interesting thing here, Ravi, is that people generally. So whenever clients come to me, and whenever I speak with them, the first thing is like, "Oh, ma'am, it's so easy to be happy for you because you have everything perfect in your life, but you don't know my life. These are the kind of challenges
yeah,
I have. So it's not possible for me to be happy." So I always tell them that it's not that the richest people are always happy or the most successful people are always happy. Happiness is a habit which you can develop, and probably that can lead for your successful or fulfilling life as well. So it's not that everything has to be perfect in your life and then you will sort of end up being happy. It's not possible, because nothing is going to be perfect any day in our life, right?
true. Challenges will be there. That will be part of it. I might be like smiling and doing this particular show with a lot of confidence. As Vandana said, it is not necessary. I'm like completely happy the entire day. There are highs and lows every day. There are highs and lows every week, every month. So yeah, it is what you decide. Whatever are there, you decide that you want to be happy and be happy with others. So good. So
I think more than deciding, it's also about how you transform yourself. So I think the first step would starts with sort of having that self awareness, that where and why am I not happy and what are the challenges. So it's a scientific process. I mean, I always tell this to people. It's not just that wake up someday and say, okay, I'm going to be happy from today. It's not possible. Trust me, it's not possible. So it's a scientific process which you need to go through.
good. Good, Vandana. So we have some rapid fire questions also, because our friends want to know
Interesting.
you
Okay.
well. So all set, ready?
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
what is something which is very exciting which you have done lately?
Very exciting. Is my startup, definitely.
Mhm.
And I just love every day spending time with what I'm doing, and coaching and counseling sessions. Yes,
Super. What made you smile today?
my toddler.
Okay. What did he do?
So he still, I mean, he took my toothpaste, and my entire bed is all over toothpaste now. So he squeezed it out
My
on my bed. So
God. So he was trying. I think he just misunderstood that bed sheet can need to be cleaned by surf or a
yeah, so
detergent.
he
So
just wants
he
to
tried.
explore that. Okay, I can squeeze. Yeah, I can squeeze this out, and then I had to change the bed cover. And I also click pictures. I mean, instead of screaming at him, I click pictures so that I have it as a memory and show him someday when he grows up.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
see, this is what
Those
you've
are
done.
sweet memories. Lovely one. My unfortunately, my kids have not done that, but I envy. This is the cutest thing I've heard. Good one. So, what's your favorite form of social media?
uh, my favorite form of social media, I think everything for that matter today. I mean, everything is quite interactive today. Your Instagram, your Facebook. I mean, that's the only two things I use. Maybe I'm a little outdated as compared to the youngsters today, but I think everything very the best thing about social media is that you're connected with people. I mean, probably if you just have their numbers, you might not just end up calling them, but at least when you post something, they comment and then you start interacting with them. So I think yes, Facebook and Instagram has been my favorite.
Cool. So you have this HR shelter. So I am imagining this is like a garage, and let's visualize. Let's say your startup is later a garage, a shelter, real HR shelter, which looks like a garage. What song would you play frequently?
Okay, I would play. Okay, now my choice of songs are very different. I love old Hindi music and ghazals. So I think the song which will constantly keep playing is Ajeeb Dastan Hai Ye, because I can relate with that song with so many things in my past. So I think that will be something which will keep playing.
Okay, I have the next question, which I'm canceling. The question was, are you an introvert or extrovert? But I have the answer, so I'm not asking you.
Okay.
Okay, where do you want to live in the next 5 years? Live.
I think live, matlab, where do I aspire to live? I think any part of this country. I mean, I am in love with this country. I'm very patriotic, and if given a chance, I would probably go and live in Himalayas. But I think it's not a possibility. But I think every village, every part of this country has a story to tell, has a culture, has so many different things. So I think any part of this country is something where I would go and live.
If Vandana is given superpowers to do anything, okay, so what superpower would you take and what would you do with it?
Uh, so when you say superpower, what kind of superpower? I mean,
Anything. You can burn things, freeze somebody, like all those Disney
okay.
stuff.
So I think I will go to if I get a superpower, probably I'll get time machine. And I think there's so many things, for the country you can change, for the world you can change, and for in my personal life I can change. So I think I will pick up that time machine, go back and change many things, and then come back to my real life.
So tell one thing which you would change if you get a time machine.
I think the first would be I would take a time machine. I don't know, I have lost my younger brother about 10 years back. So I think I'll take a time machine, go back to that particular time, and ensure that I do everything so that he's still with us today.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, I also feel that some of these incidents.
Yes, we have lost him in an accident. It's been 10 years. So I always tell people that except for getting somebody from that world, there is no other problem which you cannot solve. So that's one thing which is, mystery, unsolvable problem which is existing.
True. Yeah, I lost my dad in an accident too. I was 8 years old, and yeah, that's as a kid. That's what you can imagine is can you reverse this? Can you
Yes.
do something which you can bring them back?
Yeah.
Okay, the last concert you went to.
Okay, it was Pankaj Udas concert in Chennai. I told you ghazal person, so yeah.
So क्या करते हो वहाँ पे मतलब see you go to a rock show you're like banging your head you go to you go to let's say
No, Gazal
Sonu
concert, you
Nigam
go.
or some of the romantic
Gaz-
Ajit Singh or this thing you're like मतलब you're like I would say dancing with your girlfriend or with your spouse यहाँ पे क्या करते हो
you sit with yourself, that's more important. You look within. I think, that's that momentum where you enjoy some good music, because see, the ghazals are not just about good music, it's also about the lyrics. So every ghazal, every song has about 5 6 sher or shairi, and each has a very deep meaning in it. So and it's not just that you listen to it and you will understand at one point in time. You will have to listen to it 3 4 times to understand the real meaning of that particular ghazal and that particular sher which has been sung in that particular ghazal. So and then these are written by people about 100 years ago, 80 years ago. So you understand the person from what perspective he's written this, and this person who's singing from that perspective. So I think, and I connected with ghazals right from my school or college age. And I think I mean even today, I mean, I take pride in telling people that I love Jagjit Singh ghazals or I love Pankaj Udas ghazals, because and I honestly, I don't listen to any other English music or new Hindi music. I mean, it must be just in radio where I hear and then I listen to some music, but that's about it. So because I love that, and that's something, it's sad that today's day and age are not able to connect with something which is such a beautiful thing.
नहीं
So
नहीं,
yeah,
आज भी
that's
सुनते
that's.
हैं. Just that, as soon as the breakup happens, the next thing is you switch to
So
ghazal.
that's when you listen to some dukhi wale ghazals
या
और अलग
दुखी
चीज
वाले के,
है.
मतलब वो कैसे भी हो, अच्छे वाले भी हो, दुखी दिखते हो, वो तो गजल होना चाहिए.
Yeah, that's what even my husband keeps telling me, that it's everything. It looks so, it sounds very sad, but it's not the reality. It's something, it has a deeper meaning to it.
Sure. You're lucky because somehow I cannot get to the level of lyrics. Somehow, when I listen to music, songs, I can only relate to the music, the tune, okay, the melody, but I could never get into the lyrics and the meanings of the lyrics. कितने बार भी same song I listen 10 times, 100 times, I cannot reach there. I'm like stuck with that music and melody.
Music, okay. And many times, even when you're, I mean, I feel that the difference is that when you're watching a song, you're constantly watching, how they're dancing and the picturization, what they're wearing, and your focus goes on that. But when you're listening to a song, then you focus more on the music and the lyrics and so many things. So maybe if you start listening to them and watching, maybe try that out. Maybe it can help you.
Okay, what's your favorite book that has helped you, matlab, very memorable, attached to you during the entire journey?
So there's this book called Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, Viktor Frankl. So this is a psychiatrist, about 80, 90 years, and he is somebody who spent time in one of these concentration camps in Germany.
Hmm.
Okay, during the Second World War, and his experience over there, he's put it across in a book. So in this book, he talks about what is that particular purpose that keeps you alive. So his journey is about living in that particular concentration camp where he's there's so much of torture, there's no food, and there's so many things which happens around him, but what particular one thing which is sort of holding him to sort of live there, and what one particular purpose which is allowing you to be alive for. So that search, so yeah, that book has sort of really interested me. Obviously, I mean, I continue to read books like on yoga, or Vivekananda, or Bhagavad Gita for that matter. But however, counseling and psychology related books also interest me.
Yeah, especially I think more than, yeah, Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. Some of these things have a lot to relate in corporate life. So I think one of my friend
A
is
lot,
researching
yes, yes.
on some of these situations which arises, and how do you solve it.
Uh, yeah, not just in a corporate drive. I think it's more to do with your your current day to day life. You have a lot of answers in that, but again, one has to get into that deeper understanding of it. So I mean, what I generally feel that you have to spend that time to understand something. It cannot just happen. You just pick up a book, read, and then just move ahead. I think spending a time with something, researching about it. Generally when I read a book, then I on that particular book I have taken some notes, and then those particular things I go back and I do research, and then I find out more, and then I find out more. So for me, reading a book is like a complete process where I have to learn so many things related to that particular book itself.
Ajay, I'm done with the questions, but honestly, this is the thing which I have in mind. So this is like Ravi ki man ki baat, man ki question.
Sure, sure.
So, in the corporate journey, what happens is, as process managers, there are different people, who let the HR do the shitty job of terminating an employee. Okay, and for an employee, though the manager is terminating and all that, HR is terminating. That's the perception ki company mein kuch
HR is the
chal raha
bad
hai, and
person always.
HR is the bad person. So, do you feel guilty when you actually do this particular thing of letting a person go, and
Yes,
you
I
feel
do. I
that
mean,
you feel
I
that
have been through this. I have been through this many a times in my career where I had to, sometimes there are reasons which is yes, right reasons where you have to let go, because I've handled sexual harassment cases. I've handled cases where there has been theft and there has been issues. So there you don't feel guilty.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, okay,
There,
this
I
guy has
think
done a
there's no.
mistake and you have to let go of him, kind of thing. But then there has been situations where I know that this person is not guilty about this, but obviously the organization looks at it from a very different perspective. And I have I have initial days of my career when I've done this, I've actually even cried and I've been so emotional about it over a period of time. But later I realized that okay, it's not me who's doing this. This is an organization decision. I have even gone back sometimes and helped these people whom I know have been sort of let go of due to some unfair reasons. I've gone back and sort of spoken to them and given them different choices, made their resumes many a times, helped them with different consultants who can help them out for a job and so on and so forth. So yes, I felt guilty, but I didn't sort of brood over it. I've gone ahead and been compassionate and helped them out as well.
Good. So, friends, this is one reason I purposefully asked this particular question because this clearly defines that Vandana is a people person. HR job is similar to a nurse in a doctor in a hospital, and the trauma which they go through when somebody dies is equivalent to somebody getting terminated in a hospital. And you know what Vandana experienced when in the initial stages she literally cried. So this is what HR people go through. So HR is not only about giving appointment letter, taking care of your salary and rangoli arrangements and all that, enjoying the celebrities, but they also go through. They feel for you. They go through a lot of trauma when somebody is terminated. They feel that there is still a chance, but somehow the business or the business managers feel that yeah, they've done enough. You still have to let go this particular employee. So yeah, Vandana, that's what I wanted to check out. Uh,
Yeah, no. So another thing I want to add over here is that many a times HR looks like a bad person. That okay, you have not got increment. You go to an HR, it's like oh, you have not given me increment. But this I speak for most of my HR colleagues out there that you know. It's a very thankless job many a times. I mean, you can't explain to an employee that why he's got little increment because that's the budget the organization is having or that's the profit we have made this year. So there are so many things behind it. So when an HR takes a decision, it's not just their decision. It's always a set of
yeah,
people who are taking those decisions.
yeah, good one. So with all this experience, you've worked in corporate. You've understood people well. You understand people's requirements well as to what employees need, what people need around you, what family needs. You've also gone through a trauma and then successfully come out of it. You're taking care of the family and also you're now available for any friend who needs help so that you can coach them and enable them. With all this experience, what would you do if you become the chief minister? What are the positive reforms you would focus on?
Oh my God! I think it's so many things. I think I will start with. See, I was just telling in the start that we are a very, um, uh, we have just 74 years of democracy. So there's so much to do in our country. So I think chief minister could be, probably just focused on just one particular state. But I think right from your education to your environment to your traffic to your things to do for the senior citizens. So there's huge list of things which even as just as a chief minister you can manage. So I think I'm very passionate about politics and I'm very passionate about a patriotic person. So I think I will have a huge list of things. I mean, I will start with small thing like changing the way how we educate people. I mean the school students. I mean, I would definitely scrap this whole exam system and come up with something else where people are not made to acquire knowledge to score something in a particular exam. It's see, I mean, one you have studied physics and you've gone and written an exam and you scored just 45 or 50%. That doesn't mean that you're not an intelligent student. Maybe you're intelligent in something else. So yes, the new education system is coming up now, but I think there is a huge set of things which needs to be done.
Good one. So yeah, I think the new education system, which is right now coming,
Yes,
that should be
yes.
close to your heart.
I think that's yes, that's very I've been following that, and I think that will sort of that's just a starting point. Like I said, as a positive psychology coach, I look at things in a positive way, and I think that's a very good start point for us. But yes, we have a huge journey to cover. I mean, I think if being a happiness and positive psychology coach someday, I mean, if you know, there is something called happiness world happiness index, and the top countries over there are Denmark and Norway and Sweden. So I think one day I want India to be there.
True.
Which has the highest happy people. And that journey, believe me, it's not going to be easy. So I think if I have, I mean, those are the kind of aspirations I have. Which is not just for myself but for the country, for the people around. So yes, it's a huge list.
Good one. Nice meeting you, Vandana. I mean, it's an. I think it's really good that you came in this particular show because I got to interact with a new friend. I got to know what your qualities are, and you're definitely a people person, because that's what I can relate to with the way you've responded. It's not only for the way questions are defined. The questions are more defined to know you well, and how much you feel for people. And definitely you're in the right role of coaching people, empowering people, because not everybody wants to do something for others. Time kahan hai, matlab, people are so busy with their own life. I don't think so.
अपने लिए करने के लिए आज के डेट में टाइम नहीं है
So good. I mean, that I wish all the best for your HR shelter, the new entity. Do well, empower as many people you can, and you have the right qualities to do all these things. So all the best. And so friends, do connect with Vandana, because बहुत कम लोग हैं. You can always have a fresh coach who's like really energetic and all that, but there's nothing like an experienced coach who's got a lot of experience and have gone through a lot of in life. And these are the people who will ensure that you're not doing the same mistake again, and if you do a mistake, how to come out of it without damaging much of your mental health. So do follow Vandana and what she's doing. She's doing a couple of webinars and stuff where she's showcasing some of the topics which are close to her heart. So encourage her and follow her. I'm sure we all want to have a good mental health, be happy, ensure that if our mental health is good, we can really rock, whether it's personal life or at work. These are the, I think, two major worlds we live a lot. Okay. So if these two things are good, I think you'll have a very successful career. So thanks a lot for watching, guys.
थैंक यू सो मच रवि
Thank you, Vandana, for joining in. Have a great day, and I will, keep following you. I love your work. So, any help you need from me or further on the back,
डेफिनेटली
do let us know. Okay?
ओके थैंक यू सो मच या
Thank
बाय
you. Bye.